Most men in their 20s are playing a game they don't understand yet. They think they have time, plenty of it. Time to figure it out. Time to get serious. Time to start. They don't realize that every year they spend undisciplined is a debt they'll spend their 30s and 40s repaying. With interest. The men who are powerful at 40 didn't wake up that way. They made a decision in their 20s, quietly, without applause, to build something most men never do. And by the time everyone else was wondering what went wrong, those men already knew exactly who they were. This video is about what they built and how you can start today. Here's what nobody tells a young man. Your 20s are not a warm-up. They are the foundation. Every habit you build in your 20s becomes harder to break in your 30s. Every discipline you avoid in your 20s becomes a deficit you carry into your 40s. Every year you spend performing instead of building is a year of compound interest you will never get back. Most men don't feel this in their 20s. The consequences are delayed. The body recovers fast. The social pressure is to enjoy it, to not take things too seriously, to live a little. And so they do. And the gap opens slowly, quietly, without announcement. Then one day a man looks up and he's 42, and the men he grew up with, the ones who seemed boring, who seemed too serious, who seemed like they were missing out, those men are free, healthy, building something real, at peace. And he's starting over. Psychologists call this delayed discounting, the tendency to undervalue future rewards in favor of present pleasure. It is one of the most powerful forces working against a young man's potential. The cruel part is that delayed discounting feels completely rational in the moment. One night out doesn't matter. One skipped workout doesn't matter. 1 month without saving doesn't matter. And in isolation, none of them do. But 1,000 small surrenders, compounded over a decade, produce a man who barely recognizes himself. The men who win long-term are the ones who learn to discount the present in favor of the future. Not perfectly, not without enjoyment, but consistently, intentionally. The discipline you build in your 20s is not a sacrifice. It is an investment, and the return is your entire life. Because it does, not for the aesthetics, not for the attention, for the discipline that physical training installs in every other area of your life. A man who trains consistently, who shows up when he doesn't feel like it, who pushes past the point of comfort, who keeps the commitment he made to himself. That man carries that same muscle into his work, his faith, his relationships, his finances. The body is the first battlefield. Win there, and you build the blueprint for winning everywhere else. Here's why this matters beyond the physical. When you train consistently, you prove to yourself, repeatedly, that you can do hard things. That discomfort is survivable. That the version of you that wants to quit is not the version of you that's in charge. That is not a small lesson. That is the foundational lesson. Everything else you want to build in life requires you to have already learned it. The men who are strong, capable, and energetic in their 40s and 50s did not get lucky. They made a decision in their 20s to treat their body as an asset, not a vehicle for pleasure. Start now. Not perfectly, consistently, one session at a time, one decision at a time. Your 40-year-old self will either thank you or curse you. You're making that choice today. Compound interest is the most powerful force in personal finance, and most men in their 20s hand it to someone else. Here's what that actually costs. A man who invests $300 a month starting at 22, at a conservative 8% annual return, will have over $1 million by the time he's 62. A man who waits until 32 to start the same habit will have roughly $440,000 by the same age. Same discipline, same amount, 10 years of difference, a gap of over $500,000. That gap is not income, it is time. And time once spent cannot be bought back. Every dollar spent performing wealth in your 20s is a dollar that could have been compounding for 20 years. The car that impresses nobody, the clothes that depreciate instantly, the lifestyle that costs everything and builds nothing. The men who are financially free in their 40s did not earn more than everyone else. They started earlier. They lived below what they earned. They let time do the work. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to start. A percentage of every paycheck, before it touches anything else, into something that grows. The Catholic tradition has always understood this principle. Stewardship. Every resource entrusted to you is meant to be multiplied, not consumed. You are not the owner of what you earn. You are the steward of it. Steward it wisely, starting now. This is the one most men skip entirely. Character is not built in the crisis. It is revealed there. The crisis only shows what was already built, or wasn't. The man who has practiced honesty in small things will be honest when the stakes are high. The man who has practiced discipline in private will hold under public pressure. The man who has built his faith in quiet moments will not be shaken when the hard moments come. And the hard moments always come. Most men coast on character in their 20s. They haven't been tested yet. They haven't needed it yet, so they don't build it. They assume that when the moment arrives, they'll rise to it, that they'll find the courage, the honesty, the endurance somewhere inside themselves when it's needed. But that is not how character works. You do not rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. And if the preparation was never done, the fall is hard. The small decisions you make when nobody is watching are not small. They are the rehearsal for the man you will become. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you build trust in yourself. Every time you break it, you erode it. And a man who doesn't trust himself cannot be trusted by anyone else. Build now, in private, in the small decisions, in the moments nobody sees, because the man you are when nobody is watching, that is the man you actually are. Everything else rests on this. A man without a spiritual foundation is a man building on sand. He may build something impressive. He may build something that looks strong from the outside, but the first serious storm will show what's underneath. The men who endure, who remain standing when everything around them shifts, are men anchored to something that does not shift. Their faith, their identity before God, their understanding of who they are and why they're here. St. Paul wrote to the Corinthians, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, that your life is not your own. That is not a restriction. That is a foundation. When a man understands that his life belongs to something greater than himself, his discipline takes on a different quality. His sacrifice takes on a different meaning. His endurance takes on a different source. He is not grinding for himself. He is building for something that outlasts him. That changes everything. Build your prayer life in your 20s. Build your relationship with God when it is quiet, before the storms come, because they will come, and you will want something unshakable beneath your feet when they do. Your 20s are not a warm-up. They are the forge. Every discipline built now compounds into freedom later. Every comfort chosen now compounds into a cage later. The men who quietly win in their 40s are not lucky. They are the men who took their 20s seriously when nobody else was watching, when the culture told them to relax, when the easy choice was always available. They chose the hard thing, quietly, consistently, without announcement. And 20 years later, they don't have to explain themselves to anyone. Because the results speak, because the freedom is visible, because the man they became is unmistakable. You still have time, maybe more than you think, but less than you feel. Build your body, build your finances, build your character, build your faith, not perfectly, not all at once, but starting today.